The forest around the old slaughterhouse whispered with an uneasy stillness, broken only by the scuttling of unseen creatures and the occasional hoot of an overzealous owl. Beneath the eerie glare of a blood-red moon, the building lurked in shadows, cloaked with decay and menace. Its very walls seemed to rumble with mournful stories of the deeds it had once witnessed. Inside, the air was thick with a metallic tang, and the ghostly remains of screams long silenced. Rusty hooks swung gently from the ceiling, creaking in rhythm with the groans of aging beams. Blood-stained walls bore silent testimony to the lives abruptly ended, the lives that, unbeknownst to the world outside, had become part of the butcher's hideous collection. Standing in the middle of this horror was a lone, hulking figure draped in a stained apron that had seen 100 grisly events. The butcher, his face hidden behind a grotesque mask, exuded an aura of sheer malice. His eyes burned with a chilling, otherworldly intensity that flickered like dying embers. Clutched firmly in one calloused hand was a colossal cleaver, its edge grinning with the memory of countless past horrors. Surrounding him, macabre installations of twisted forms filled the room with a chaotic artistry. Bone connected to sinew, flesh morphed into unsettling new realities. Each piece was a tribute to the butcher's dark genius, each formation a new exploration of terror. As the butcher scanned the area, the weight of silence pressed heavily. The atmosphere was pregnant with the promise of fresh terror, a new victim to fuel his dark creativity. The sense of impending menace was palpable, hanging in the air like the stench of death itself. In this forsaken place, time seemed to stall. The world outside was oblivious to the shadows within, oblivious to the ticking clock that heralded the arrival of the next unfortunate soul, drawn unwittingly into the butcher's realm of horror and despair. And so, the butcher waited with bated breath for the next scream, the next art piece, the next chapter in his bloody legacy. A lone survivor stumbles breathlessly through the labyrinthine corridors of the abandoned slaughterhouse. Their heart races, and each step feels weighted by unseen hands of dread. With each flicker of their frail flashlight, fresh shadows spring to life, twisting into grotesque forms that tease the mind and fuel the visceral fear that claws at the edges of sanity. The air is thick and cloying, reeking of decay and long-forgotten deeds of malice. An ominous symphony of faint echoes, the metallic screech of a blade grazing concrete, a haunting melody reverberating through the desolation, sends shivers down their spine. In this forsaken place, every stone seems to whisper warnings, urging retreat. With morbid curiosity, the survivor traces the sanguine trail that snakes along the cracked floor, a path etched in still damp arterial red leading to an elusive underground chamber. Within, a macabre revelation awaits, an altar fashioned from bone and sinew, ghastly and grotesque. The butcher's latest captive, a feeble figure clinging to the thin veneer of life, lies there, bound by cruel twists of fate. Ancient symbols, dripping artifacts of madness, decorate the chamber's confines, painted in viscera and pulsing with a sinister, otherworldly glow. Their meaning is indecipherable, if not clear, an entreaty into realms best forgotten. The survivor's breath hitches, a catch against the growing crescendo of fear. As terror tightens its vice, the shuffle of methodical footsteps cuts the silence, each step deliberate and relentless. The echo becomes a harbinger of impending doom. The butcher, a figure of nightmares clad in shadow and malice, his cleaver sings as it dances across the floor, sending sinister sparks flying. To flee or to fight, choices narrowed by the pounding approach of a relentless hunter. Fight or flight fuse, driven not by logic, but instinct. The survivor's pulse thrums like a war drum, matching the inexorable advance of their would-be executioner. What fate awaits amidst the echoing screams of a slaughterhouse steeped in shadow and apparitions of the tormented? Only time and the survivor's will tell.